Speaking of positive terms, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off,
no.
Wavy, but VP pick, first African American woman.
Yep.
How we
Yep.
feeling about that?
African American and South Asian, I think.
Yes.
They're mixed, right?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
I mean,
HBCU grad,
Howard.
AKA
HU. No.
it's a step. It's all this stuff. Whenever something like this happens, it's a step. You know, whether they win or she wins or what happens, it's a step forward. But I think it's gonna be some mixed. It's a mixed bag, right?
definitely.
I'm happy. I mean, look, you could feel how you feel about her history as a DA and whatnot, or sorry, a prosecutor. She did her
DA.
job.
Yeah.
She did her job. People want to be upset about her putting, black people in jail, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, she did her job, and we need to focus on the fact that she's a black woman. This is a milestone for us as a community, and we need to rally behind her. Too often, we're just being divisive and I think that's a distraction at this time. We need to come together. We need to rally behind her because at the end of the day, anything is better than Agent Orange.
Well said.
Yeah.
Clap it up.
James Worthy.
Slow clap, bring it in.
It's gonna be interesting too, because if you think about it, like, are people gonna vote? So if we're looking at this clearly, right? It's smart to have a African American woman, a woman of color, and a woman to try to get a different type of vote than maybe you were gonna get in the first place. So, and when Obama was running, there was a lot of people that voted for Obama because he was black. Just
No.
like
You
he's
think
black,
so?
I'm gonna vote for him, right? So, does that work for Biden? Is it gonna work? People gonna vote for her because she's black?
Oh yeah.
A lot of people.
You think so? I think a lot of people after the Obama presidency, I think they expected a miracle.
Well, I mean, but I think I think people are going to do it. I don't want it to. There's a misperception though that black people just vote for people because they're black.
For sure.
And I think what really turned that on its head was Herman Cain and Ben Carson, right? Like, because black people were like, "No, I'm good," like and they're black, but we were like, "We're straight."
Not that guy.
Right. Like, and so I feel like we'll probably Kamala has her checker pass, which. Being as somebody who's worked on the opposite side
Right, yeah.
of what she did for the majority of her career, I definitely have some issues. But the one thing I respect about Kamala is that she is intelligent.
Absolutely.
She's extremely eloquent. I think she's going to do great in
the
terms
debates.
of getting her point across
Yep.
in the debates. The other thing too is, like you said, Doc, like she does her job. But I think there's more to it. Some people will look at it as she's like a politician, right? But I think that when you have somebody like that who is willing to listen to the people, like you have someone who may, even though she was not as progressive as you would like, since progression is kind of the will of the people right now, I think she would be more inclined to listen to a lot of progressive policies. And it's better to have somebody like that in the room than obviously somebody like Trump or Mike Pence who,
Right.
Are not looking for us at all. So
Yeah. We have the opposite of progressive right now.
right.
Yeah. So
Trying to take us back, take away choices,
hey,
Facts.
that's why we gotta vote, right? You gotta
Y'all,
vote.
real quick before we get off of that, do y'all feel like Joe Biden picked her because he
was
genuinely,
losing the backbone?
he genuinely wanted to, or do you feel like he was kind of forced into that?
You knew it was going to happen. I mean, they've been, there was a lot of the prominent black celebrities and figureheads signed, that petition or whatnot.
Because as somebody who follows,
to have a black VP,
as
black
somebody
female.
who follows politics somewhat casually, I'm not the most versed in that whole world. I don't get too deep into it, but as far as like following it or whatnot, but every time I heard Joe Biden or saw him on any type of, especially African American platform, they always, grilled him on picking a black woman running mate.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely. So he committed to it. Him and Bernie during their last debate committed to a woman candidate. I think the culture and what's going on today compels him to pick a black woman.
For sure.
He had a few selections though. He had Susan Rice. He had Karen Bass. He had Stacey Abrams.
I was gonna say Stacey Abrams. Yeah.
I think Kamala made the most sense. in some ways. She doesn't really speak the progressive language though, so I think she's gonna have a hard time reaching like the Bernie Bros and people on the super left. But
I think for that reason, that's kind of why I think they actually selected her, because maybe some of the people that do lean a little bit more towards the right may not be as afraid of her as maybe say Stacey Abrams. So I think she kind of seemed like if you're gonna pick a black woman as your VP, maybe the safer choice in that kind of political world, Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep it 100. I think Stacey Abrams is excellent. I think Stacey Abrams has the ability to speak genuinely to progressive issues and more center issues. I think the problem is an appearance thing, honestly. And it's not to say that I don't think Stacey Abrams is I don't think that she's unattractive or anything like that at all. But I think that when you look at what women have to deal with in terms of being elected and their electability, their appearance is judged.
Image matters.
Image matters. And I mean, Stacey Abrams, she looks like what she looks like. No shade to Stacey Abrams at all. Like, I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. Like,
facts.
And I think that's something that because Stacey Abrams, if you talk to anybody who talks about her, they will say whatever room she's in, she's typically the smartest person in the room.
Right.
She's got the resume. She went to Yale for law school. She's a hell of a politician. She's super smart. To me, it would have been easy had she looked like Kamala. I'm just gonna keep it 100.
It's in politics, everything matters.
Yeah.
It all matters. When you're trying to get elected, it all matters.
Definitely.
So I think
even for men, appearance
all
matters
of it,
to a degree.
So
definitely.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about the scrutiny that Michelle Obama faced just being the first lady, I mean, if you threw Stacey Abrams in there, I definitely think she would have had a lot of conservative cartoonists, going ham. So, I mean, yeah, I think that definitely played a role in the decision that Joe Biden made. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, the biggest thing I want to say to everybody is go vote.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there. Don't complain. Don't be mad. Go vote. Don't talk if you're not going to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. That's facts.